And we are live. Good afternoon, or morning, or wherever you are. I hope all's well with you on this glorious Friday. I'm going to take a drink. Feel free if you have a coffee or a tea or something. Or it's Pim's o'clock somewhere, isn't it? Wine o'clock. You can definitely raise a glass if you have one. So, how are we all? What is happening this afternoon or this morning? What is happening on your Friday? Drop a comment to say hi if you're watching this live. Say hello, Jonny, or something like that. Or, hi. Here's Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Great to see you here. It's going to be a great session today, actually. I've got some little insights lined up I think you're going to like. In fact, I'm fairly sure you're going to like them. If my instincts are right, you'll love them. So if you're here watching this live or indeed on the recording, drop a comment. Just say hi if you're watching it on the replay. Type the usual hashtag of replay. And by the way, I have no idea why I've got my headphones in because I'm not listening to anyone. It's like a comfort blanket, isn't it? Just get used to having them in your ears. So if you're here, announce yourself. Say hello. Say hi in the comments. We made a bit of a mistake, actually. We made a bit of a mistake when we put the timings out. For some reason, it said 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and of course it's 8 a.m. just after 8 a.m. right now, PDT. So I hope nobody's an hour late because they're going to miss it. I love the idea of the Blue Ridge Mountains. It always reminds me of that old Laurel and Hardy song, Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I suppose it's the same mountains, isn't it? Just going across from one state to the next. And Coralie made it. So Coralie wasn't too disrupted by the error in the timings that we announced. Coralie's up there on the west coast. Yeah, I hope all's well with you. Well, say hi in the comments. Keep the comments flowing if you are here. We're all very, very good today because we've all got our little names showing. I was just going to say, if you haven't yet given StreamYard permission to show your face, just have a look at the banner on the bottom now, the scrolling banner. You can go to streamyard.com/Facebook, give it permission to display your actual name, which is always nice. In fact, we've got one here. There you go. Great example. Facebook user says hello. So Facebook user, if you go to, as it says down there, streamyard.com/Facebook, you can just push a button and it'll display your actual real own name, which is nice, isn't it? That's what we're like. Okay, so what is going on today? What are we talking about today on this Thank Flip It's Friday live training? Well, here's the title. That's the banner right down there. 5 things you need to sacrifice for success. I asked the question in the group this morning. Maybe you can recite some of your answers if you did respond to that post, or if you didn't see the post. Just write them new. Fingers on keyboards. Type something you've had to sacrifice to get your business to the point where it is today. And hello, Diane. Great to see you and Ms. Holiday. Just type in the comments something you've had to sacrifice to get where you are in business today. What have you had to sacrifice? Might be something you had to give up, something you had to postpone, something that you used to do more regularly, you've not been able to because of the business. Some ideas that you had perhaps that you've had to put on the back burner because you're focusing on your business. Maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe it's a relationship you had to sacrifice to get the business going. Maybe it's a job. Maybe you had to give up your job to do the business. Let's hope it wasn't a goat or any other type of living creature. Little of my time. Yeah. Is go on vacations. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. we're going to talk about all this. Time to do art. Yeah, it's a time thing, isn't it? It's a time. Generally speaking, it's time you've had to sacrifice. If you just joined us, hello. Stick a hi in the comments and then tell us, what have you had to sacrifice so far to get your business where you are now? Fixed hours giving you time off and you're not at work. Right. So again, another time thing, right? Another time thing. Yes. I don't think it'd do much good for anyone in business if you're sacrificing animals. I'm not really into all that strange woo-woo stuff. What have you had to sacrifice? Come on, let's have some more answers. I have 6 of you showing us what you've sacrificed so far. What do you feel like you've sacrificed so far to get your business to the point where it is? It was a good one. There's another one from Melanie. Good from Mimi. Vacations, a lot of my time. What have you had to sacrifice to get your business to where it is today? A lot of insecurities. So do you mean you've had to sacrifice your insecurities? That's interesting, isn't it? Leave them behind. Yeah. I'm down with that. That makes sense. Keep this coming. As you type some new ones in, we'll display them on the screen. I've got 5 things and I've got them all set up so that we can talk about them at length and you can dive in with your thoughts. So 5 things you need to sacrifice for success. These are not necessarily the only 5 things, but 1 or 2 of these might seem a little bit weird, which is why I'm talking to you about them. Just leaving me at our Facebook user was Judy there. I can see that. Yeah. Hey Judy Gibbon, good to see you. Thinking about more interesting things. Yeah, you know, single-minded focus on your work never goes amiss, does it? I am going to show you these 5, and the first one may seem a little bit weird, which is why I'm doing it today, because today is Thank Flip is Friday. And what do we do on Thank Flip is Friday? Well, we take a commonly held belief or understanding and we flip it around, do a 180 flip on it. So I'm going to put a word on the bottom here, which might seem a little bit odd. Privacy. What do we mean by sacrificing privacy? Well, to me, privacy is the opposite to promotion. If you don't promote your business and you decide that you want to keep it the best kept secret in the world, on or off the internet, then nobody's going to know about it. Nobody's going to know you exist. Nobody's going to be drawn towards you. No one's going to be motivated to join your community or pick up the phone and dial your number. Do people still do that? If you're not promoting your business and you want to keep it private, for any one of a number of reasons we'll talk about in a bit, then no one's going to know about it. No one's going to actually want to have any part of your business at all. So let's just dig into this a bit. What do I mean by privacy in this sense? Profiles as a coach pretty strongly, yeah. So Mimi's just got another one here which she had to leave behind, which is the camaraderie of a work team. Yeah, I hear you. I get that. We have virtual camaraderies now, don't we? I've got camaraderie with you guys, which is lovely. Privacy. I think the reason why people balk at this and decide that they want to keep things private is a general insecurity about what people will think. And particularly people who they know already will think. Friends and family. I saw a lady the other day and I'd strongly advise her to sort this out quickly. She's got 2 Facebook profiles. One is my business Facebook profile. One is my personal Facebook profile that I share with my family and friends. I said, don't do that. Don't do that. That'll kill you. That is wrong. And I'm not usually this black and white, by the way. I'm not usually this prescriptive. But that's wrong on a number of fronts. Number one, Facebook doesn't allow any individuals to have more than 1 profile. more than one account, in other words. If it finds you've got more than one, it's going to close them both down, or all three of them down, or whatever, and ban you from the platform. So that's not a good thing to contemplate happening, is it? One or two of you this year have suffered bans and shadow bans and temporary bans with your profile, and it's no fun. So don't do that, because it's against terms of service. Second reason is that people are going to get confused. People might follow both, which means that they're getting notifications about posts on one, and they see a post on another with a different profile pic, and they go, is this the same person? What's going on here? And also, it speaks to you having something to hide. So here's the thing to do about all that nonsense. It's easy. It's called don't share anything that you don't want the whole world to see. Don't share anything that you don't want the whole world to see. Now, you can show yourself as a 3D human, like Jeff, who's here. Our dear friend Jeff. He's a hiker, he's an outdoorsman. He loves being out in the open, but he's also a spectacularly good coach. So guess what? He has a Facebook profile that talks about his adventures, shows him climbing up some rocky crag somewhere, and then he drops in a post about his business, about what he can do to people, what he can do for people. So there's a mix there, and there's a blend, and what this does, this shows Jeff as a 3D human. 3D human. We all have businesses, and we all have lives. Why would we want to keep any of that private? Why would we want to keep any of that private? So the antidote to concerns over privacy is simply this. Don't share anything online that you wouldn't want the whole world to see. Because guess what will happen then? The whole world will see it, and they'll embrace you. They'll start to like you. They'll start to vibe with you. They'll start to go, guess what? This person, with all their insecurities, with all their challenges, with everything that's beaten them up in their life so far, they're an ordinary human being. And then when they see your business posts, they'll see you as an ordinary human doing extraordinary things. How's that? That's appealing, isn't it? An ordinary person doing extraordinary things. That's what we all want to be seen as, isn't it? That's what we all want to be seen as. Bring your friends and family into your business, into talking about your business. Get them to understand and embrace it. If your family and friends love you for who you are, they're going to love your business too, aren't they? They're going to love your business too. Can we just have a show of hands? Just give us a yay if you're into that, and maybe comment a little bit further if you've ever felt any reticence over sharing your life on social media. If you've ever felt any reticence, just talk about that a little bit in the comments. How do you feel about this idea of privacy? About this nonsensical idea of privacy? You know, the first thing I did when I launched the business was go into my profile, to the back office, make sure it was as public as it possibly could be. Everybody gets to see every post. All you've got to do then is not share anything that you wouldn't want the whole world to see. Yeah. Love it. The world gets to know us for who we are, precisely for who we do. Exactly. So once some of the group is, yeah. Well, we've got a different situation here with the group. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that in a bit. It's private, but not private, isn't it? It's just a name for the group, basically. Caroline's never shared any of her life so far. You should try it, Caroline. You should try it. You should try it. And Tony Swebby, you should try it. You should try it. Diane says it's not easy. I have to challenge you all on that. So Tony and Diane and Caroline, give it a go, because your life's as interesting as your business is. Your business is as interesting as your life. Tony is a genius. Tony is an artistic genius. He paints and draws and sketches portraits like nobody I've ever known. And Tony, your output is so prolific. It's incredible. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm a huge fan of yours. I say this with the greatest love and respect. You might get more traction if you started talking about your personal life. Where are these beautiful works of art coming from? What is the source? What is the font from where they emerge? Tell us about your challenges. Tell us about your life. Tell us about who you really are, what you've been through, what you've experienced in your life. I did one of these the other day, didn't I? In the group, some of you might have seen it. I know 1,500 people saw it, where I talked about my business failure, my bankruptcy, and everybody got on board with that because you can imagine how it feels to have a multi-million-pound business and losing it all and all that kind of thing. Condolences, Diane. So sorry to hear that. And I'm not suggesting for 1 minute, by the way, that you in any way, leverage that tragic incident. But generally speaking, the ups and downs of our lives are really things which other people can be interested in, and it gives a backstory. It gives some context to the work that we're doing. I really think you should go big on this, Jeff. Your hiking adventures. It's not just a hike, but it doesn't just ramble down a country road. Jeff does some quite extreme rock climbing and stuff, which is, it's fantastic to see. It really, really is. And, I think the idea of being open, I can't express it any better than this very simple phrase. Show yourself as a 3D human, just like them. Demonstrate that you're an ordinary person doing extraordinary things. When I think of people like Tony, the artist, there is a sliver, a tiny percentage of the global population who can do what you do, Tony, right? It's a very, very rare talent, whether you accept it or not, it really is. So you're an ordinary person doing extraordinary things. Give us that context. Let's see, let's see where all that's coming from. Where is that genius creation coming from? And, in terms of private conversations on things which are, so personally, you don't want to share with anybody, that's fine. We have this kind of conversation with clients on Zoom calls all the time, don't we? In a private room, a private environment where there's, the eyes of the general public are not on us. But, if you get into this idea that don't share anything online, don't want the whole world to see, then you're never going to run into a problem with this. And the opposite will happen, because you will start to blossom. You'll start to be out in the world. People will start to appreciate you for who you really are. I'm sure if you subscribe to any of the successful coaches who are around helping people in our profession with these kind of things, they all share their backstories. They all share pictures of their kids, their holidays, the challenges, the hospital appointments they've had, all the minute, all the little bits and pieces that form the jigsaw of an ordinary life. And that's where we need to be. I think that's absolutely it. Wow, Tony. I would read that story. I genuinely would. Don't get me wrong, it's not the kind of thing that is light entertainment or people rejoice in it and go, woohoo. But people read that, and it's another layer in the great story of Tony Swaby, Let's have a look. Let me show a picture anyway. 315 pounds. I've no secrets that bother me. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. So yeah, Tony, tell stories. What can I tell you? Maybe he's got a great quote here. I don't know whether you made that up or whether that's a quote for the ages, but it's a good one, isn't it? No art's created doesn't reveal a part of the artist. And look, we're all artists. We can't sketch portraits like Tony Swaby. We'll never do that. But good Lord, everything we create is art, isn't it, in its own way? There's an art to every form of coaching. There's an art to every form of therapy and healing. Where's that coming from? That's what I'd be intrigued about. People often say to me, when we start a call, tell us a bit about yourself, Jonny. Where have you come from? I'm interested. How did you get to be doing this? People are genuinely interested in it. Okay, we're going to move on because there are 5. There are 5 of these things. That's probably Gregory. I'm not sure. There are 5 of these things. The first one is privacy. You have to leave this behind, sacrifice this for your business. Here's the second one. You're going to love this. My goodness. And again, we might get some pushback on this. I want you to sacrifice your ego. What do I mean by that? Well, don't enter this business, this profession, thinking that you know how to do it. The one thing I've learned in the 30 odd years I've been in business is that I know next to nothing. I know next to nothing of not just the sum of human knowledge, but the sum of things that I need to know to run a business at its optimal level. I know next to nothing about that stuff. There's so much to know. I have zero ego when it comes to operating my business and, to being the practitioner that you guys experience. I know a little bit more about it than some people in our community, but that doesn't mean that I've got, I'm the font of all knowledge or anything like that. So leaving your ego behind is a great, great, great idea, a really good idea. And where that leads you, if you admit that you know next to nothing, there's always something more to learn, then you're going to learn from the best. You're going to engage some experts. I call this skipping the line. Skipping the line. It's the equivalent, isn't it, of buying the VIP ticket when you go to Disneyland or something like that. Because somebody who knows a little bit more than you do about the particular thing that you're trying to do, they can show you how to do it. And it takes next to no time then for you to assimilate it and incorporate it in your business. You're skipping the line. But the reason most people don't do this, and I've got to say, this is going to sound weirdly sexist or something, it's mainly us blokes who do this. We have a vanishingly small number of men on the Client Attraction Blueprint program compared to women. It's 19 out of 20 women. Very occasionally, there'll be a bloke shows up and goes, I don't know this stuff, I need to learn it. And the thing that's holding people back, and let's just assume for the sake of this, it's not just men, it's ego, right? If you think that you know enough to do it all yourself, then you're going to be, number one, in for a rude awakening. And secondly, it's going to take you ages, if ever, for you to put it all together and make it work. I've engaged an expert 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago now. Somebody that I met when I was at my mastermind retreat in Thailand. I paid him a substantial 4-figure sum, pushing 4 figures. In fact, yeah, 4 figures by now, 5 figures by now. And he's helping me. He's helping me get our business to the next level. So this is such an important thing. This is such an important thing. Let's have a look at some of them. All wise men were once fools. We all still are, Tony. We all still bloody are. That's the thing. I hate lines. That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. What Gregory means by that is American. A line is a queue in Europe. Skip the line. Skip the queue. Learn from the best. You don't necessarily have to engage someone for multi-thousands of dollars. Read a good book. Holy crap. There's books abounding in our industry. If you want some tips for books to learn this stuff, I'll give you some. In fact, I'll send you my book if you ask me. There's Jonny Hates Marketing right there. Jonny Hates Selling over there. Just read a book from somebody who's doing it, who's doing what you want to do right now. AI, artificial intelligence. Go ask ChatGPT all these deep searching questions about what you want to know. Yeah, the answers are out there. But it all starts with leaving your ego on the coat hook on the way in, on the hat rack. Just hanging up your ego and going, I probably know next to nothing about this. That's a great starting point. Let's have a show of hands there. Who's comfortable with leaving their ego at the door? Give us a yay if you are. If you're prepared to admit that you know next to nothing in absolute terms. And there's always more to learn from other people, from great books, and even from some intelligent self-teaching. Give us a yay if you think that is true. Diane's prepared to leave her ego at the door. So is Mimi. Jeff's got some insights on this. A 10% edge on the people you're teaching is enough. Yeah, sure. Frida's going, yay! There you go. How do you yay with a Bolton accent? I don't know. I can't hear it. Is it? Yay! Yay! Like that. Right. Tony's not prepared to leave. I love how contrarian you are, Tony. Love you to bits. Right. So the first one was privacy. The first thing you need to sacrifice for your business. Second one being ego. The third thing you need to sacrifice is a business plan. We're getting so contrarian today. I love this. This is absolutely counterintuitive, is it not? So, what does Jonny mean? What are you on about? How can you sacrifice a business plan? What I mean is, don't write a business plan, right? Don't write a business plan. Business plan's a spreadsheet, isn't it? Month by month with how much you're going to earn, what your expenses are going to be, what you're going to be left with. Because it's just made up, isn't it? It's BS. It's bollocks. It has no bearing on the future reality that you're going to experience. You're not in the corporate world here. You don't need a plan to raise some seed capital or something like that, right? What you actually need to do is just have some ideas and try them and fail and rinse and repeat till something works. Business plans are not worth the screen it's typed on. Not worth the screen they're typed on. You don't have to impress anyone with your ambition, with your glorious dreams for your business. The best plan is to have no plan beyond the next step or two that you're going to be taking. Because action beats ideas all the time, doesn't it? Action beats words all the time. So forget doing a business plan. Even if any of you have considered doing that, which you probably haven't, because you might be smarter than that. But there's just no point, is there? There's no point. You don't have to impress anybody with it at all. There's nobody out there, about to read your business plan. You can write, I don't know, you can write down some kind of mission statement, which is quite a good thing, I guess. Creating a golden sentence is a good idea. I help X to do Y so they can Z. But in terms of an in-depth business plan, I've never done one for JHM. And I probably never will, because it serves no purpose. You don't have to impress anyone. So we're going to get out of this one quick, because I want to do the other two before we finish up. Just have an idea, try it. If it works, try it some more. If it don't work, try something else. Have another idea. That's the soundest business plan, and pretty much the only business plan that you need. So Farida likes that, I think. So there's number 3. Let me just recap. We'll have to do this. So sacrifice privacy, get out there, be as public and open as you possibly can be. Leave your ego at the door. Don't worry about a business plan. In fact, tear it up if you've done one already. What else do we have to sacrifice? Some of you touched on this one. You're going to like this one, number 4. Some of you touched on this when we first asked you, what have you sacrificed? Material pleasures. It doesn't say marital pleasures, by the way. Material pleasures. These are, in no particular order, gadgets, fancy possessions, long holidays, VIP experiences. Now, there's a fine line here, because you don't want to be too parsimonious. You don't want to live the life of a monk or a nun for too long, at least. But all the stuff that costs money costs energy to replace that money, doesn't it? Money is energy, right? I'm sure those of you who are energy healers and energy practitioners in the group will, give us a big fat thumbs up on that. Money is energy because it takes your life energy to create it in the first place. To draw it into your world, not to create, that's the wrong word, but to get money flowing to you takes energy, isn't it? It's an energy exchange, if you like. So that means when you spend money on frivolous pleasures, material pleasures, like extra gadgets and stuff, then you've used some of your life energy and you've got to generate some more and you've got to create some more. I would say in year one of your business, really pare back on all this stuff and invest instead all your energy into your business. In other words, go all in. One of my cruder friends calls it balls deep. You've heard that expression before. Go all in. Put every ounce of energy you've got into your business, and thereby any energy you spare, any ounce of spare cash that you've got into your business. And that enables you then, doesn't it, to circle back on part 3 about actually it was part 2, wasn't it? About engaging experts. Skip the line. If you haven't spent £1,000 on a new TV screen this week, then there's £1,000 you can spend on your business, and you can engage somebody to help you. And believe me, you get a lot of help. You can get a lot of help, a lot of useful help for £1,000. There's no doubt about it. Rebecca Rice is endorsing that for sure. Yeah, it's a good plan, isn't it? So just pare back on frivolous spending. And I never sit in judgment. I'm just observe, and I'm quite considerate in that I'll consider people's feelings, but also consider what I've seen myself. And earlier this week I was talking to a lady who reckoned she could not afford to invest in her business. Well, she just come back from a holiday in the Far East. Back from a holiday in the South Pacific somewhere. Is it Tahiti, something like that? A really exotic holiday. Fine. I'm not sitting in judgment, but I'm saying, you know what? If you stayed here instead of going there, you'd probably have had £3,000 or £4,000 spent on your business, and believe me, you can make a lot of headway with that kind of investment. So it depends how serious you are, doesn't it? If you want to get your business going, set your priorities, as Rebecca says. Treat it seriously, like anybody else would. There's a mate of mine locally just opened a new coffee shop. It's a bakery, actually. It's a branch of his bakery. He told me he spent £85,000 on this tiny little coffee shop. 85 grand he spent on it. And he's got 3 staff in there. It wasn't busy at the start. It's getting a bit busier now. He reckons it'll take him probably a couple of years to recover his initial investment. Now, that's a serious business person, isn't it? That's somebody who's actually got a real business. So ask yourself, have you got a real business, or do you want to fart around? The choice is yours. I'm not sitting here in judgment, but just know this, that it's quite unusual that you can have both all at once. Refreshing advice, once you make it, people see you just look, yeah, exactly. They do, don't they? They do. I used to think that with a mate of mine. He owns 5 pubs, this guy, and he drives us to mine. He's got a villa in Antigua and a boat. He used to say, it's all right for you, Phil. You're doing all right. And the sacrifice that he puts in, working 14, 15 hours a day, trying to keep all these staff, doing what they should be doing, and trying to keep a track of all the cash and make sure nobody's nicking his money and all that kind of thing. You're right, maybe. Running a business is an undertaking, isn't it? It's an undertaking. I don't think there's enough people in our community actually feel it's a business. And as you've said, Farida, it becomes a hobby. It's even worse than that. It becomes an expensive hobby. You can have hobbies that cost a lot less in terms of your time, your energy, the money that you've put into it, maybe if you have. But, if you don't invest any more and you keep all that going, it is a hobby, isn't it? A hobby is something that you don't receive or indeed expect a financial reward from. Very few people get paid for their hobbies, do they? All right. So I'm hoping this is making sense so far. I don't want to sound too brutal today, but equally, I'd like to open some eyes and get you thinking about this stuff. So we're going to sacrifice our privacy. We're going to be as open and as public as we can. We're not going to publish anything, on the internet that we don't want the whole world to see. We wouldn't be happy with the whole world seeing. The idea of sacrificing our ego then speaks to asking for advice, reaching out, asking for advice, reading books, absorbing articles, and engaging people who can help you to skip the line, get to the front. You don't need a business plan. I think we've covered that in enough depth. Material pleasures. So, what is number 5? What is number 5? What is number 5? Roll on the drums. I want you to sacrifice your overthinking habit. I want you to put that in the dustbin of mediocrity, because that's where it belongs. Everybody I know is an overthinker is rarely successful long term. Conversely, people I know who are successful, by whatever measure you might imagine success is, they don't overthink, they just get on with it. They can make quick decisions. They just decide to do something, they just do it, try it. And this business of ours, conceptually at least, is simpler than you imagine. It doesn't take a lot of thinking about. It takes a lot of doing, right? It takes a lot of doing. Are you with me on that? There's some work to do. But conceptually, it's quite simple, isn't it? Lovely Melissa's here. I'm glad this is landing. I really, really am. Yeah, we're getting some nice buy-ins here. I hope you guys go in and implement some of this stuff. I really do. Judy G, love that idea. I'm not sure which one it was, but thanks for loving all my ideas, Judy. So, overthinking means the time that you spend procrastinating, ruminating. What's another 18? Oh, no, I don't want to do that one. Masticating, chewing it over before you start, right? Stop it. It doesn't take a lot of thinking about, because the business conceptually is simpler than you imagine. And once you get started with it, the amount of time that you have to spend doing it will likely take up all your time, leaving no time for too much thinking. Here's our business in a sentence. Would you like to hear how simple our business is in one sentence? Our businesses are people paying you to solve their problems. People paying you to solve their problems. That's all our business ever is. What do we get here? We've got another 18. Debating, yeah. So procrastinating, ruminating, debating, contemplating. Oh, they're all flowing now, exactly. They're all symptoms of overthinking, aren't they? Just get on with it. Our business is about people paying you to solve their problems. And you're all quite capable of doing that. So you can just get out. Start conversations. Just start conversations. You can do that today. You could start a conversation with a couple of people before you finish work tonight, before you sit down with that glass of wine on a Friday evening. Ask questions, listen to the answers that come up. Make offers, offer to help. Get paid. That's it in the round, isn't it? Start conversations, ask questions. What do I say? Listen to the answers. Make offers to help. Get paid. That's all it is, isn't it? That's all it is. There's nothing more to think about other than getting that process started, right? 2 years of, I think, starting a business. Yeah. Melissa, I'd love to have a word at some point. I can definitely help you with all this. Deliberating, exacerbating. Yeah, we're getting really obscure with some of these now. I love them, love them, love them, love them. I think the first to the last one is the problem. Yeah, getting paid, Tony. Yeah, I'd love to help you. Step up when you're ready, my friend. I will help you with all this. Okay, so we are ready, I think, to do a little summary. And I've got something for you. I've got a treat for you, which you'll like, so don't go away. So what we've been talking about today is 5 things you need to sacrifice for success in your business. First thing is privacy. So, don't be shy, get out there, just curate your content with care so that you never put anything out into the world that you don't want the whole world to see. and thereby you can share with everybody, can't you? Ego's going to stop you asking for help, so sacrifice that, for God's sake. Park it. Thirdly, don't need a business plan. Don't need to beaver away working out where you're going to be in 3 years' time. Forget that. 3 hours' time, 3 days' time is long enough at this point. And frittering away your money and thereby your energy and worthless pursuits is definitely something you need to stop doing. And for God's sake, stop overthinking it. Just get on with it. Most of you here today know what to do because you've been in some deep training and guidance and mentorship, whatever you want to call it, with me. So just get on with it. Just get on with it now. Take those first steps. There's nothing complicated to think about. It gets more complicated when you start doing it, as I've said. Okay, I've got something for you. And I'm going to say, if you and I have not had a conversation of any kind, either ever or in the last 6 months, I've got a treat for you. I don't normally do these. I don't do many of these. But here's the thing. There's a new banner scrolling along the bottom here. I would like to see how you are showing up on social media. And from time to time, I open my calendar for just a few of these. These are complimentary with my compliments. Nothing on sale. It's a social media audit. It lasts for 20 minutes. There's a link on the bottom. If you type that in your browser now and click it, you'll get access to my calendar. There won't be many spaces for next week because I'm on my holes, taking a vacation to Whitby in North Yorkshire, which is the most delightful little fishing village you'll ever wish to land in. bit.ly/SMA-20, so all lowercase. If you click on that, you can access my calendar. You can book a 20-minute slot. And what I'll do in that 20 minutes, I'll have a look at your social media profiles, your primary social media profiles, probably Facebook. LinkedIn's good as well, Instagram, whatever. And we'll go through it together. And I will give you at least 3 things. I'll guarantee 3 things that you can go away and implement straight away. In other words, to hell with overthinking, to hell with procrastination. These will be 3 things that you can do straight away to improve the reach of your business, improve the organic reach of your business. So it's a 20-minute social media audit. Type in bit.ly/SMA20. In fact, I will put that link in the chat. It's a very simple link. In fact, I can even type it now whilst I'm talking to you. So I'm pretty sure that you could type it in the browser if you wanted. But here it is. bit.ly/ yeah, that's it. You don't need to put the HTTPS in. You can just literally do that. Diane's put it in the chat as well. It doesn't appear in all Facebook chats for some reason. I don't know why. If you're watching in JHM, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will actually type it into JHM. So bit.ly/SMA20. So just in case you're unsure what this is your social media audit, and we will spend 20 minutes together going through your primary social media page or account or whatever, and I guarantee I'll give you 3 things to update and improve straight away. There you go. In JHM, that's actually a clickable link now. So I'm just going to put it in LinkedIn as well. So bit.ly. I suggest you do it anywhere, Rebecca Weiss. Absolutely. Do it. Absolutely, yes, for sure. Do it. Just click it, book it. Might be a Bolton comedian there. Booked it, packed it. I won't say the rest of it. Farida probably remembers this. What I'm talking about. Okay, I'm just going to put this into the video on LinkedIn. as well, just whilst I've got you here. So Rebecca, if you look at the screen you're looking at now, the link is across the bottom of the screen in a banner. It's also in the comment under my face. Where are you watching this, Rebecca? I mean, I can probably help you, but it's dead easy to type in. Rebecca Roberts. we're having this intimate conversation, Rebecca Roberts and I. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I would like to know from you guys which of these things you are going to sacrifice, you're going to leave behind. Rebecca, I've actually sent you, in fact, this link is already in your chat, for God's sake, Rebecca. Back in May, it's in the chat now in Facebook. Yeah, if you look in Facebook Messenger, it's there, Rebecca. Yeah, what I'd like to do, guys, you guys who are still here, just in the chat, just to finish off in the comments, can you tell us which of these 5 things that you feel you can leave by the door, which have you left by the door already? So privacy, you're going to get on with that? Do you feel you have to make some? But I'll tell you what to do. Pop the one in that you think you have to work hardest on. Privacy, leaving your ego behind. Don't do a business plan. Material pleasures, are you tempted by those? Do you feel like you're overthinking? So which of these is the one that's most afflicting you right now? Is it your reluctance to not be private with everything? Is it your reluctance to reach out for help, and therefore the ego? Is it your reluctance to stop spending money on frivolous pleasures? Perhaps is it your reluctance to stop overthinking? What do you think you are? What's afflicting you the most at the moment? Oh, you feel like you've done a business plan already, do you? Oh, don't do that. Yeah, overthinking. I agree. I think that's you, Judy, isn't it? Is that you, Judy? Yeah, maybe feels a bit squirmy with privacy issues. Well, look, the best way to ensure privacy is not share anything that you don't want the world to see, isn't it? Otherwise, you're duplicitous, aren't you? You've got this life here that you want everyone to embrace and admire and respect. And you've got this secret little life in the corner that you don't want anybody to find out about. I'm very uncomfortable with that in my life. I hate that idea. I think that's a less useful approach than just sharing everything and then curating what you're saying, making sure you're not being a dick when you're out there, Yeah, I get it, Rebecca. Well, as a lot of the people in this thread will tell you, we work primarily with people who are just starting out. So the fact that you're just starting out is not at all. Yeah, we're having 20 minutes together. I'm looking forward to that, Rebecca. I really am. If I look at your stuff, that makes sense to me. So I have put a link there. So bit.ly/SMA20. I'm just looking at it on the screen now. Go on, I'll put the banner back for you. So if you haven't booked it yet, copy that link into your, just type that link into your browser, bit.ly/SMA-20. That will access my calendar. You can find some space in there. So we're going to have a chat. We'll do a social media audit with my compliments. I will happily do that. All right, I'm going to finish up. We've had a glorious 50 minutes today. I've really, really enjoyed it. Just give us a final yay in the comments, please, just to give us some comment juice. And the yay will be if you've found today useful. Have you found this useful? Have you discovered or remembered or been reminded of something that you're going to employ in your business? Give us a yay, give us a yes or a hell yay if you find this session today useful. Great. Oh, love Mummy, what the heck, yay. Tony, great to hear that from you as well, my friend. Yay, in a Bolton accent. Exactly. Marvellous. I just saw I've come a long way. You have indeed. If that's Judy, I know you have. You come a long, 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 long way. And as Rebecca says, exactly the right time for me. Boom. Well, that fills my heart with joy. And with that in mind, I'm going to go off and have a fabulous weekend. At least some of the weekend I'm going to be glued to a TV screen, which is kind of one of the things that you shouldn't do too much of. But I'm actually going to be watching the Belgian Grand Prix as it unfolds. And that's a very exciting thing for me, if not for anybody else in the house. Okay, I love you lots. I will see you very, very soon. Get on with this stuff. It's really, really important, guys. Just go do it. Action, not words. See you later. Bye.